Hi everyone, so this is just a quick recap to go through the breathing exercise that we went through in clinic. This is just the basic 4-phase breathing exercise. I'll talk you through it as I'm led down, but just to recap very quickly, it's in through the nose, not a big breath, filling the lungs but not like a massive inflation. Then you're going to breathe out, making the phonetic S sound, or sound like a snake, or like you've just burst a balloon, something like that. So you're going to make the sound of like that until you've deflated or emptied the tank, so to speak. And then what you're going to do after that is taking another inhalation through the nose, guided to whichever area we're focusing on at that particular breath. And then after that, you're then going to exhale again through the mouth. So it in a lot slower, but you're basically going to go. Okay, so obviously we'll do it a lot slower when we go through the exercises, focusing on those different areas, depending on where our hands are positioned and our body poise at that moment in time. Okay. So this is the first breathing position we're going to be in. So lay flat on our back, with the palms facing up, so that you're feeling open through the chest. That's what we're aiming for with this breathing exercise or breathing phase. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this area. So like that. So when you the first inhale, you don't necessarily need to concern about it, but when you exhale, really consider about drawing that abdomen down into the spine, really emptying everything out. Then as you inhale again, you're going to do the same thing, focusing on that area here. So we're kind of in this phase really, so this area of the abdomen. So to go through the first one, you breathe in through the nose. When you're doing that S sound, you really do need to empty the tank. So exhale all the air and then think, do I have any more left? So you can do that a little bit more and then pause for a second before you take that breath in and enter it into that section. So this is the second position. Obviously you're now encouraging more of a stretch through this area. And this is the area of the thoracic cavity, rib cage, lungs, whatever, that you're trying to address in this particular phase. So the whole point of all of these exercises as they come together is we're looking at the three-dimensional cavity, but from the inside. Obviously with treatment and Bowen, we're addressing everything from the outside. This is you helping yourself to address everything from the inside. So this is the area we're looking at now. That's not to say to take a shallow breath. You still want to consider this area as well, but also be mindful of this area on the inhalation. So same thing again. So I don't know whether that actually picked up in the video or not, but I could certainly feel that my ribcage is starting to expand that little bit more. And possibly I haven't checked the timer, but it certainly felt as though that S sound was much longer that time, because now we're on the second phase, we've already started to make the diaphragm more efficient and effective in what it's doing. So join me for the next video and we'll go on to the third position. Hi, so this is the third phase. Apologies for the changing costume. The third phase is looking at the side of the rib cage. So if you ever see a baby, when they breathe, they don't breathe like this, they breathe like that. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So to do that, it's with your arms in the up position above your head. If you find that uncomfortable, you can do it like that, but then it becomes a two-step exercise, because you do the breathing in this position, then you cross the arms over the other way and do the breathing in this position. I'll be honest, I'm lazy, I do it like that. So, same thing again, we're focusing on this area when we do the breath. The same thing again, when you do the exhalation, really empty the tank into this area, breathing in, expanding through this section. So, apologies for the Labrador. You may notice that compared to the previous video for phase 2, my inhalation wasn't as good that time. That's because this is a different day, and this is the first time I've done the breathing exercise. I've been lazy, I've jumped straight ahead, I've gone straight into phase 3. So that rib cage isn't as mobile or active as it should be. But with doing all of those 4 phases on a regular basis, it will improve. Join me for the next video when we'll go through the final one, when we go through the 4th phase. So this is the 4th phase of the breathing exercise. The basic pattern is exactly the same: in through the mouth, S, exhalation, back in through the nose, aiming it at our target area, and then finally exhalation through the mouth. This time we've done the first one, the second one, the third one, no prizes. The 4th one is into the back section. We seem to forget that we're 3-dimensional. So our lungs, when we breathe in, so this is your front, this is your back, you breathe like this as well as like this. So when you take in this inhalation, it's very much about stretching through your back. Really try and split your shoulders almost. Try and get your scapula, your shoulder blades, to come apart as you do that inhalation. So to get that best stretch, we hug ourselves. So we can do it like this. So same thing again. So that's the 4th exercise. If you don't feel that you're getting a particularly good stretch through that upper section, then you can tailor it slightly. So for myself, I'm quite flat-backed. I really benefit from this exercise, but that doesn't really do it for me. So to get a really good stretch through my back, if you're familiar with yoga, that's the child pose. Apologies for my very poor demonstration, but ultimately it's still doing the same breathing exercise, but in that position. So that's the child pose, and what we're looking at doing is exactly the same thing. So in the child pose is the breathing in through the nose, the S section. Make sure you don't have lots of saliva in your mouth, you could make a bit of a mess. Doing the S, and then back in through the nose, really directing at the shoulder blades, as I said, when you're in that position, and then out through the mouth. One thing I would say is do be mindful that your bottom is as grounded as you can possibly be when you come forward. Child pose is not that, okay? So it very much is about kind of getting that really good stretch through the back section. And that's it. So you just combine those 4 sections together. It takes about 5-10 minutes at most, depending on how long your exhalation is. Put them together, do them as often as you possibly can, and you will feel the benefits very quickly. From personal experience of doing the exercises, I'm having to readjust my rear view mirror in my car, excuse me, on a fairly regular basis, because I'm finding that I'm feeling taller and taller and taller through my thoracic, and I've got that much better position through my body, and it's kind of undoing all of those mobiles and laptops and all of that other nonsense. So do try and do these exercises, and I'll hopefully see you in clinic soon. Cheers!